All right, well, it is 3:05 on August 10th, and wraps up another day of trading. Market just closed 5 minutes ago. So yeah, today was. Why is this slightly dragged over? That was bothering me. Ah, that's why. Okay, so today was a morning again of uneventfulness. For the most part, obviously we can see this, but anyway, when I woke up this morning, the gap scanner looked pretty terrible. There wasn't a whole lot up, and the ones that were did not look very convincing. I'm trying to remember. I think SSNT was one of those, but I mean, as you can see, this was not very good. And also CLWT. Now this one had some news, but again, it made a good move right off the get. But then sold off, kind of a false breakout on this candle, and then ended up selling off. Had a struggle reclaiming VWAP. Anyway, I didn't touch it for the rest of the day. And then we had AERC from yesterday. So this was kind of a surprise. I was just kind of sitting tight at this point when all of a sudden this decides to pop from 560 to 630, almost $1 into a halt. So I wanted to trade out of this halt, but it opened a lot higher than I was expecting. So I wasn't super dialed in because for some reason that threw me through a loop. But I did end up taking, I think it was the break of 50 I took a trade at. Let's look at the orders here. Why? Oh, those are canceled. That's why. Yeah, so it was. So it was a break of 50. So 42 to 55, I had a trade. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 55 to 65, and then 21 to 33. So, yeah, that's what it was. So I ended up taking a trade on it. I don't know how I got to Mega L. So yeah, right through this level, and this the break of 50, and then I tried to get on this pullback here. But then we had these two false breakout candles here, where it looked like it was going to flag up. So if we have step down, green candle flat, and then first candle making a new high. When it made that high, people sold, and you could see the level 2. People throwing in themselves, and then that happened again right here. So after these two breakouts over the resistance and then flush, I didn't want to touch it, and that was that for the rest of the day. Now the one thing that I really did get green on was, I don't think I even stuck it on the watch list, was STIX, some STIX. This one popped twice with halts. I didn't end up trading it the first one, even though this ended up being a very clean dip and rip. I didn't really care about it at this point because it was super low volume. It popped out of nowhere, and usually stuff that pops up and halts, I'm not interested in touching. But then it did. I didn't look at it. And then I got the alert that it was halted up again at 7:55. And this one, believe it or not, this candle doesn't look too convincing, but it gave a pretty clean open and a dip and rip where I got in. Yeah, 7. So yeah, I got in just about at the bottom of this candle at 72, so right here, and then sold 80s, and also 808. So that ended up being the trade on the day that got me green, because before that I got green on AERC, and then yeah, I can't forget about NVTA. So this one I was a little frustrated at. Because it started running here, and I don't know if at this point there was any news. Oh no, I think it was just because of a price, yeah, price target. Yeah, it was an analyst gave up in a price target, so I think that was why this was running. Anyway, I tried taking a few trades around here, and I ended up pretty much break even at this point. I was a little frustrated, and then I ended up going red on this candle right here off these highs. Or was it the breakout? It might have been this. And I think I just, yeah, it was actually. I got in right here for the break of highs, and then when the S ended up breaking out, and it was another false breakout. I mean, we've been seeing false breakouts on false breakouts every single day for the last couple weeks it seems. So that's been tricky. So I've been doing fairly well at avoiding them. But I mean, sometimes it's tough. Anyway, so that was that on NVTA. And then it ended up staying above VWAP, but I wasn't really paying attention to it through here. And at this point, it was past noon, so I had to get out enough to eat lunch. And then I had some errands to run today, so I couldn't look at it for the afternoon. And sure enough, the third day in a row, we have an afternoon runner where this thing just decides to break out. And once that, it was off to once it broke out above above this 380 level into the fours, it was off to the races. And unfortunately, I wasn't here for it, so that's okay. I left some practice on the table, left some money on the table, but we'll see what it wants to do over after hours, and hopefully we'll get to get a trade tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up for today. End the day plus 122 thanks to STIX on that halt. But yeah, all in all, a pretty solid day. It was very dry for the first couple hours. Again, I've been seeing this pattern where I'm like, or I'd say maybe the first hour. Usually we see the most action in the first hour of the day. But it hasn't been the case. HLBZ was kind of the one that people were looking at, that I was looking at. But this is the one from the last couple of days that I haven't been too keen on trading, so I didn't touch it today. And then, again, where we have slow morning and then afternoon stuff, there's one that seems to want to run, and that's been the case. And in this case, it is that NVTA. So, yeah. Wow. It's good to see moves like this, regardless. Even if you miss out, it's good to see this momentum, because this usually will forecast some good. It's kind of some good foreshadowing, for some other momentum in the future. So, be back tomorrow. And, I think I wrapped it up.